think we have all seen those Britney Spears videos of her dancing with fake knives in her hands near pets. At least I think they're fake. It will be fine if she didn't look off. I mean, she was just arrested at the beginning of March from drunk driving. This makes me think maybe the conservatorship wasn't such a bad idea. I'm not ready to say the family was right all along, but it's clear she needs some sort of help. Or maybe I'm seeing things that are not there. And it is coming from someone with very little information about the topic, by the way. Maybe I am worrying too much. So to clear the air, let's check first what a conservatorship means, who the people are that should be in one, what happened to Britney Spears for her to be basically 51-50, and would this new development push her family into another conservatorship? A conservatorship is a legal responsibility where a person called the conservator takes over someone deemed by the courts as disabled, meaning they cannot take care of their basic needs, like eating, working, medication, among many other things. It's usually for people suffering from dementia or who are mentally incapacitated. There should be plenty of evidence to prove to the court that the individual cannot take care of themselves. But it's not only the conservator involved, an investigator has to check and report. Usually this person works for a mental facility. Also, there are lawyers involved protecting the person under the care. And in some cases, a caretaker or a guardian might be involved when there are communication issues between them and the lawyers. So as you see, there are a lot of people involved to protect someone who cannot protect themselves. No wonder why Britney wanted out. There were so many people involved in her business. But let's see why she had to be forced into this. What happened before she was put into a conservatorship? Britney Spears started her career when she was between 9 and 10. And from that, she hasn't stopped.
I probably started dancing when I was like 3 years old. It's tough.
And even her liking her job, it must be very difficult to want to be a kid but also have grown-up responsibilities. So her childhood was gone and now she's a teenager. Her first big break came when she was just 16 with Baby One More Time. So there goes her adolescence as well, and now she is an adult. She started dating Justin Timberlake when she was a teen, so they were the sweetheart couple in entertainment. Little did everyone know, Justin was, and apparently still is, a gigantic pile of shit, outing the fact that Britney was not a virgin anymore and some other stuff he said. Britney suffered the scrutiny from the tabloids, now interested in her intimate life and the fact that someone she trusted could betray her in such a way. After that, she made some interesting decisions, such as the short-lived wedding that lasted 3 days? Or her marriage to Kevin Federline, nobody's favorite boyfriend. But it started to show around 2006 after she had her second child. According to her then husband, Kevin, she was experiencing postpartum depression, and a little later she asked for a divorce.
I just found out I was getting divorced. I called my lawyer. The only thing that I told him that all I care about is getting 50% custody of my sons.
At the beginning of next year, her aunt died of ovarian cancer, and that's when she went to a hair salon to shave her head and later attacked a paparazzi with an umbrella. She was still working on her next album while mourning the death of a loved one. Then she was photographed driving with her son on her lap, and later she crashed into a parked car. No kid in the car though, these are different days. This was the year of that infamous MTV Video Music Award performance. Everyone was talking about it, and that's when the Leave Britney Alone video was uploaded.
And how f***ing dare anyone out there make fun of Britney after all she's been through? She lost her aunt, she went through a divorce, she had 2 f***ing kids, her husband turned out to be a user, a cheater, and now she's going through a custody battle.
But in October of 2007, she received the biggest blow. She lost custody of her 2 children, and still she had to promote her album. The audience didn't know why her kids were removed from her care, but it was later revealed that the authorities were investigating a case of multiple abuse and neglect. This was around December, so in January of 2008, that's when she was 51-50. A month later, her dad went to court and granted a temporary conservatorship, so he and an attorney share control over Britney's money and her house.
I'm also very proud of, and I'm also very thankful for the judicial system and the judge. I want to thank her so much for the decision that she made, and she made it upon the evidence and she made it upon the law, and I believe justice was served.
This agreement was supposed to last only 1 year, but it got extended indefinitely, and even Britney was okay with it at first, probably because she was finally catching up breath. She was kind of like in a vacation, you know? But soon she will grow to hate the fact that she needed to have a schedule for everything and that everything was too monotonous. She was still working, by the way.
Taken some time out for myself, and I've been recording for a while. I haven't been completely in the spotlight, but I've been doing what I've always done. You're guarded, you have to be that way, otherwise you get it taken advantage of and get in situations like I did the past year. I never wanted to become one of those prisoner people. I always wanted to feel free and get in my car and go and not let people make me feel like I had to stay in my home.
In 2009, she met Jason Trawick, and later he proposed. 3 years later, he was added as a co-conservator. He was not in control of her money, but he will have the final decision on what to eat, her medication, what to wear. This is the year the hashtag Free Britney movement started. Again, she was still working on a new album, but it wasn't until 2019 that she had to take a break because her dad was hospitalized.
A couple of months ago, my father was hospitalized and almost died. We're all so grateful that he came out of it alive, but he still has a long road ahead of him. I had to make the difficult decision to put my full focus and energy on my family at this time. I hope you all can understand. I appreciate your prayers and support for my family during this time. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
Every year, there was a hearing about the state of the conservatorship, so in May, Britney expressed that she wanted out. A little later that year, her mom had to give her role over to Britney's caretaker, Jody Montgomery, meaning Jody was now the one limiting visitors to the house. And I think Britney connected well with Jody because in 2020 she filed court documents expressing she wanted her dad out and Jody to be put as the permanent caretaker, even saying she's afraid of her father and she will not perform if he's still in control. But it was in June of 2021 when Britney will finally face the court by herself, telling how her life has been all of these years.
I'm not willing to go to Westlake and be embarrassed by all these paparazzi, these scummy paparazzi laughing at my faces while I'm crying, coming out and taking my pictures. They set me up by sending me to the most exposed places, and I told them I didn't want to go there because I knew paparazzi would show up there. They only gave me 2 options for therapists, and I'm not sure how you make your decisions, ma'am, but this is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help, so I don't really honestly know what to say, but my requests are just to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. I don't want to be evaluated and be sat in a room with people 4 hours a day like they did me before, and they made it even worse for me after that happened. Also, I was supposed to be able to have a friend that I used to do AA meetings with. I did AA for 2 years. I did 3 meetings a week. I met a bunch of women there, and I'm not able to see my friends that live 8 minutes away from me, which I find extremely strange. I feel like they're making me feel like I live in a rehab program. This is my home. And I want to meet with a therapist once a week, not twice a week. And I want him to come to my home because I actually know I do need a little therapy.
Britney Spears also mentioned that they were forcing her to work until exhaustion. This horrified the world and awoke 2 politicians into action. Charlie Crist and Nancy Mace introduced the FREE Act, which means freedom and right to emancipate from exploitation. This pushed Britney's dad into leaving his role as the main conservator, and finally, on November 12 of 2021, Britney Spears was freed from her conservatorship. She regained control over her finances, her house, her medication, her meals, and her life. Okay, after all the information, and believe me, there was so much more stuff happening to Britney, more people coming and going out of her life, knowing intimate details about her, here are my thoughts. And please share yours in the comments. Do I think the conservatorship was a good idea? Yes, but only that 1 year. That would have given the doctors enough time to diagnose Britney and get her the medication and therapy she needed. But here's the thing, and again, this is only my opinion. Britney Spears started her career at just 9 years of age, not even counting the previous years where I bet she was in singing and dancing classes every single day.
I probably started dancing when I was like 3 years old.
She missed her childhood years because she was working. Then she missed her teenage years because she became a worldwide superstar. No breaks, and she was underage, meaning her family was in control. Once Britney became an adult, the family kissed the power goodbye, but they continued overworking her until she began showing signs of something going on in her brain. I don't want to say they broke her, but only because I'm a coward, because I do think the family treated Britney as their cash cow.
I honestly, still to this day, don't know what really I did, but the punishment of my father, I wasn't able to see anyone or like anything, and you have to imagine none of it made sense to me. My heart would just want to stand up in my family's faces and scream and cry and throw a tantrum and go back in time and do exactly what I wanted to do at those times. Yeah, and might even spit in their faces. Why? Because the pain my family gave me, sitting me there all day and not being able to use my feet, as they watch their grandchildren run bases to base in a family neighborhood, as if I'm dead or I don't exist, honestly makes me look up and say, how the fuck did they get away with it?
And they saw an opportunity when that behavior started affecting her kids, getting her in a conservatorship. They tasted the control once again and didn't want to let go. And they really seemed not to care about Britney, because even during this time, she was recording music. They made a freaking documentary.
The way I feel, it's like they hear me, but they really not listening. It's like, it's bad. I'm sad. When you go to jail, there's always the time that you know that you're gonna get out, you know.
I don't blame Britney when she agreed to more years under her dad's control. I bet she finally experienced some rest. The medication made her think more clearly, she had a schedule, but it lasted very short time. Once the dad started to find jobs, collabs, concerts, one after another. Instead of giving her all the tools she needed to be independent, they decided to jail her, take away everything from her, and only allow her to go outside for work. She said it herself, she felt like a slave because that's what she was. By her own family. And now that she's free, I bet she doesn't trust the medication she was on. I bet she doesn't trust the mental health system anymore. And I mean, is she wrong? After that traumatic experience she had, the doctors chose to control her instead of helping her out. And about this latest DUI arrest.
From all parts, 822 Eastbound 118 East Yosemite, black sedan, erratic braking, swerving, and driving with no tail lights.
483, I copy. I'm in the area eastbound at Cooner. Okay, attach my please.
83 in the area.
Friends have come out with private conversations they had with Britney, quickly selling those to tabloids, and then the media is pushing the narrative that Britney is in desperate need of another conservatorship.
You know, at first I was very supportive of the Free Britney movement. I thought that she deserved her autonomy and her freedom just like everyone else. And then when it ended, we started to see things that sort of made me think, okay, maybe this isn't as black and white as I thought it was, and there's a reason why the conservatorship was put in place.
But what they failed to report is that for years, not only has Britney been stalked non-stop by paparazzi, she has had a man stalking her every move. Someone named Donald? Days before the arrest, she had called 911 constantly, allegedly because someone was following her. So imagine the state she was in. I'm not glazing over the issue. Drunk drivers need a clearly harsher punishment, but here's the thing. Britney was under the legal limit when she was arrested. This is just so bizarre. And because they found out she marked in, I think, .06, now they are claiming, oh no, there were more drugs involved. Who to believe anymore? That South Park episode turned into a prophecy all of a sudden.
Well, we know a lot of the whole story, so we don't have to go over the whole story,
well,
or, you know, what we think.
It was like, I think since the conservatorship, I'm in a conservatorship, is the third year of me being under that, and I felt like a lot of the things were planned for me to do, and, you know, being told what to do, and I was just like, for this one, I want to make it my baby, and I want to do it myself, and I was very strategic about the way I did it, and, yeah, that's why it means so much to me.
Everyone around her failed her. They took advantage of her, and they are still doing it. It took the internet to push people to let her go and to bring some fortitude to her so she could speak up for herself. But now? What? What to do now when everyone around her betrays her? The public can do so much, and her erratic behavior of today will give the family control again in a not-so-distant future. This is just so bleak, guys. What do you think? Leave me your opinion in the comments. If you are still watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you sticking around until the end. And I also hope to see you in the next video. That'll be nice. Remember to take good care of yourself and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. You know, fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail.